I have owned this MX-5 project. I say project, it wasn't a project when I got it and I just smacked some bits on it, but I have owned this car for a year and a bit now, and I'm looking for my next project, and that is what we're going to be finding in today's video.
So with the decision of wanting a new project car, I hopped straight on Marketplace and started looking around to find some deals. I saw a lot of cars that didn't really interest me. They'd already been done to death by other people, so I kept looking for something else. I saw this little Peugeot and I didn't mind the look of it, but then I remembered it's French and it's rusting, so skipped on from that. This Honda Jazz then piqued my interest, but it's already been done by Jack McNeil, so we quickly moved on from the idea of that. Next was this Renault Clio, but it was on 120,000 miles, unfortunately, which is not what we're looking for. Then came along the Honda logo, 74,000 miles, £650, so we went straight away to have a look at it. £650 lighter, of course we had to snatch up this original deal of the Honda logo.
So with this being a 24-year-old car, we're going to want to basically just outline some of the issues for you, what we're going to have to take care of before we can get into modifying it. So first off, here you can see we have a missing bolt there and some oil leakage, which we will be fixing in this video. Just a simple little gasket to sort that. Now, second to mention, of course, is the very tired paintwork. I mean, that's pink. The doors, I believe they've had new, well, not new, but second-hand ones. So they're a bit more red, but there was a patch on the car, if I can find it, that we polished a little bit. So here you can actually see the real colour compared to the faded pink. But let's just say this colour isn't going to be staying on here for very long. So I'm sure you all know Japanese cars rust, and they rust quite a bit. I've been quite lucky with my MX-5. It doesn't have any rust, but it's only done 20,000 miles. This car has done 74,000 miles, so let's take a little look at the rust. So, of course, to check for rust, we have to pick up a screwdriver. So the first noticeable bit is up here. Let's give it a bit of dust falling out. That is pretty solid. Now, the second bit, a little less solid down here. We're gonna struggle to... The paint comes off, but like I said, that's not gonna be staying. So we're gonna strip this back, treat it, and hopefully get that sorted. Now, there. Solid, that is what we like to see. So going underneath the vehicle, yes, this has a Panhard bar in 2000s, it's mad. Solid, absolutely solid. That is just surface scab. So once again, surface scrub, nothing major on that side. You've got a little at the neck of the fuel fillip, but nothing crazy. If we look up there, once again, solid, rare for a Japanese car. Solid. Moving further down the vehicle, inner sills. Solid. 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 That's the exhaust there, because we decided to take it off, but that's going to get put back on, because as you can see, that gets quite warm, and that's the fucking fuel tank, so let's watch that. Solid. I think you get the gist of the idea. It's a 24-year-old Japanese car, and everything is pretty darn solid. One of the ball joints though, if the camera will focus, that one there, that one needs replacing. And if you look closely there, that's just, it's, you know, boom, new one. So we'll be getting that on in today's video. Front of the car needs a new number plate, it's cracked. But other than that, everything is pretty solid on this car, which you wouldn't expect for a car of this age, especially a Japanese one. As you can see in here, we now have the wheel off and access to this track rod, which is gone. Now, I have already gone in here and slackened it off and taken the lower nut off, because it would have taken me forever to do on camera. So yeah, let's get that off. As I'm very unprepared, I don't have a hammer, so I've got a G clamp. I'm gonna smack the bottom of that really hard and hope that it comes off. So let's just move guys there so I can actually get in on it. And, that worked. So, for those of you that don't know what a track rod is, the track rod is basically an adjustable part which helps your vehicle to keep tracking, basically going straight down the road. And this is what one looks like, or this is what a ballsed up one looks like. So as you can see here, you have a rubber. This rubber is meant to be filled with grease in a sealed unit, and you can see the amount of movement you've got in there. So when you've got that tightened up, you've got to think that is sat on top. And every time you go over a bump, it's going down like that and making a big, like, dung noise. So if you've got a big dung noise from your front suspension, this could be it. Because here we have our brand new track rod. Now, very shiny and new. And as you can see, I'm applying force on that, and that is moving not nearly as much. After doing a track rod, realistically, you should go and get your car's tracking done, because you could end up with it going, one wheel going that way and one wheel going that way down the road. So you should do it, but I'm not going to do it because I've only slackened it off a little bit, and that is basically where it needs to be anyway. Now, thanks to Liam, not only is he letting me use his ramp and use his unit, he's also letting me use his impact gun. So, big thanks to him for that. Like ages of V6 line on. There we go. Here we go. Magic. Sorted. Car. Will now pass. An MOT. So. Solid. Finishing to creme. I broke it. Oops. So now on to sorting this engine bay. First, what we're going to do is bing, bang, mush, boom. Just unhook all of these because we're going to want to get this cover off. Now with the HT leads and gun, we can go in with our trusty old 10mm. Don't know why I'm using a quarter drive, but swag in it. We can undo these. I believe it's only 5 holding this down. If not, we've got bigger issues. This is a fairly simple job. I hate cars. As I was saying, this is a fairly simple job. Anyone with a toolkit can do at their own house. Save yourself going to the garage, and you'd probably spend about 30 to 50 quid if a garage did this, if not more, depending on where you're from. There's oil in there. Woo. So, make sure to do your research, obviously, first. See how easy it is on your own car. And if you think you can tackle it, then why not? Now, the next step is, I need a bigger screwdriver. The next step is gently just pry underneath here, basically lifting your rocker cover up, and it should. I've left some clips on. I'm so stupid. Here we go. This will solve the issue. And no, it's not a hammer. Take that off like that. Slide that off the back. Leave your parts everywhere so you lose your pieces everywhere so you lose them. And boom. That is your rocker cover off your engine, and it will be full of oil. And that oil is quite dark. So I'm going to be servicing this at some point, probably in the next video. Whoopie-doo. So first of all, what you're going to want to do is, we've got the old gasket here. You're just going to want to basically check you've got the right one. So I'll hold these up here. If you can see that, here we go. You can see at the bottom, they're identical. When we go down, and they're also identical. So we can start by putting this on the car. I've just realised this is meant to go on the rocker cover, not the car, because I'm stupid. Now, with our new rocker cover gasket, which I'm still fiddling around with behind the camera. That goes there, that goes there. Right, yes, with our new rocker cover gasket, yes, there is oil on it. I don't care what you have to say. I'm not cleaning it. It's going to get painted at some point because we're going to be highly modifying this car. Where have I put my tool? Not that one. I'm actually on the spec. Aha! What on earth is happening out there? It sounds like someone is dragging a horse. And realistically, if we're doing this by the letter of the law, you would talk these down. But once you are an ultimate professional like myself, you get a feel for these things. And you basically, your hand is your own torque setting. The only thing I would recommend torquing up is suspension components and wheel components, and head bolts for a matter of fact if you're building up an engine. Well, if you're doing anything internally to an engine, torque that also. Just little 10 mils, anything up to maybe a 13, 14 mil. If you've got a feel for it, then just wing it. I'm actually stupid. I could have just moved this with my finger. It's like made out of Chinesium, as we like to call it. Shit, which order is it? Aha. 1, 2, 3, 4. In we go. In. All of them are in. It is all tight, and the engine can be started again. I'll put the keys somewhere. Take 2. Voila, the engine is running again. Now, if you did enjoy the first video on the absolute wagon, which is the Honda logo, make sure to tune into the next one, because we're going to do some dumb stuff to this car. I've got big plans, like one-of-one build plans. This thing's going to be getting a bit wider, it's going to be getting a bit lower, it's going to be getting a different colour, and going to be getting very louder. So, if that's what you want to see, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.